everyone! Welcome to Adobe Live Education Edition. My name is Shel McConville. I'm one of our Adobe Education evangelists, and we are super excited to be here live in San Francisco with all of you talking about time-saving tips.
Hey everybody, my name is Ann Cosma. I'm one of the education community managers. Shel, I'm so excited to be here with you today. As she said, time-saving tips, but literally this is meant to help you focus on what you love. It's empowering student learning, leveling up creativity, and of course, all of those user-friendly features. We're going to be showing the workflows for educators, from quick and easy content creation to advanced features to enhance productivity. Our goal is to empower everybody out there listening, not only with the tools, the knowledge, how can you make the most of your time when you're using Adobe Express for Education? And you know, we've got exciting demos lined up for you today too.
We sure do. We are going to go over some really fantastic features of Adobe Express for Education that are designed to make your life easier, not add more things onto your already super heavy workload. We just want to see how we can streamline things and make it feel good.
I know, love it.
Exactly.
Love it.
Whether you're making PDFs or editing PDFs, creating web pages for newsletters, or using all of our awesome ready-to-use teacher templates, this tool has got you covered. As we get started, please, I see some of you are already doing it, but please say hello in the chat. Let us know where you're from. Maybe what you teach or what you like to do.
That shout out. We see Tanya, our friend Claudio, Michael. Hey, I see a Wheezy out there. Melissa, Queen Mel 99. Hello. And hey, Jack, we've got friends watching in, so we're really excited to share this time with you. But are you ready? I mean, I say let's just jump in. We've got the screen already mirrored, and take it off. We're talking about the power of creativity.
I love it. And you know, speaking of the power of creativity, and we're talking about time savers, and like, how does this all fit together?
Yeah,
you know?
It's an important topic, but like, why spend all this time talking about it? I know we have some thoughts around this, right?
100%. And like teachers, you spend so much of your time at school, and we want to make sure you're thinking about your own well-being. You always spend so much time thinking about your students' well-being, but you are so important as well. And one of the fun facts that I don't know if everybody always knows, but Adobe does a ton of different research. And one really, really interesting data point that I saw recently was that 95% of educators in this research study believed that creativity and creative projects can help to reduce stress and lead to better mental health outcomes, not just for teachers, but also for their students. Isn't that cool?
I love this because when we talk about this, I know like the educators I know, people in my community, we're all talking about not only productivity, workflows, teacher tips, best practices, how to enhance and transform, pedagogical impact in the classroom, but the conversation around mental health well-being is super relevant. We talk about it in our real life. We're talking about it with our teaching practices, our teaching teams. And so you just mentioned that stat. Another one that's so interesting, and I love this. So the AI creativity report that Adobe just released, I know we have the link. We can drop it in the chat too. In this study show, it says 82% of educators who incorporated creative activities into their classrooms last year report positive effects on student well-being and engagement. So student well-being, student engagement transforms opportunities in the classroom, right? And I love this. That's a significant 82%, and it contributed to increased teacher satisfaction and reduced burnout. So I think we're going to get that link dropped in the chat, but we'd love for you to check out that creativity report and explore the impact and the power. It's the power of creativity. So I love this.
Absolutely incredible.
All right, so friends, I know we got some more folks who joined us. Martha, Engraved Dreams, hello from the middle of the map. And we have more friends joining in. We're so glad y'all are here, but I think it's time to jump in.
Let's get going.
Okay, the screen is already up. And friends, to start, I want to point out what you're seeing on the screen. Literally right above me, you see this beautiful display. We call this the playground, right? So this is where you can access literally with the click of a button, make a video, create a graphic, animate your voice, build a web page. But I want to point out that left rail. When you scroll down that left rail and Shell's kind of hovering over it, you see that home button, the plus sign, your stuff, classrooms, brands, templates, learn, educator resources. These are those brilliant shortcuts to just be aware of. And I love to say, push all the buttons, play to learn, but really the tip I want to share is familiarize yourself with what is on screen, because that way you know where to navigate to, you know where to go. Time savers, right? Rather than searching for something.
Give yourself permission to explore.
Yeah, I love that. Permission to explore. I love that. So friends, do you see that rainbow A on the top left corner? That's like the home button. The rainbow A is a great button to be familiar with too, because when you click on it, it just resets the page. It gets you back to this home screen, literally like a home screen. I see it in the chat. I love the playground too, Martha. I love it. It's home base for me. But
absolutely,
when you think about epic time savers, friends, we have some tips to get you started. And Shell, I know if you scroll down a little bit, we're getting to those quick actions, right? So you have those suggested quick actions, and I think that's where we're starting.
You're exactly right. And what I really like is that there's often, when you're in Adobe Express, there's lots of different ways to get somewhere.
Yep.
And so the quick actions, they live here, but they also live in this plus sign up here, which is actually where I'm going to start. So when I click on that plus sign, it gets me to this Get Started area. And here are quick ways that I can jump into different sizes of documents. So I can, if I want to make something for social media or video or photo or a document or a web page, all kinds of different things live right there. But we are actually going to take a look at these quick actions. And the whole idea of these are, sometimes there are things where maybe you don't need to open up a whole brand new project in the editor, and you just want to do something super fast, super quick, thus the name.
I love it.
Right?
Quick actions.
It's like it was named intentionally.
Hey, purposefully, right?
And so within here, if you just have a photo and you just want to take the background off, that's right there. If you want to just make a quick animation of a character, it's right there. QR code is one that I think a lot of people don't know about, and it's super easy. You just drop your URL in there and you can create a QR code just like that.
I love this, and I think about the power of QR codes to bring learning to life, literally with a scan, but this is just a few clicks of a button. Drop the link, change the style, the color, file format. You can actually personalize it a little bit inside Adobe Express too, which is brilliant, but we love to say, share, celebrate, and showcase learning. I did that in my first grade classroom. I did it as a coach. I do it now as, part of the Adobe Express for Education team, but this is a brilliant way to bring learning to life with the scan of a QR code. So I love that, Shell. That's a quick action to get started.
Action. Okay, I love it.
So we have all these demos, and we're going to launch into talking about classrooms.
Yes.
And classrooms is a brilliant feature, a great way educators, teachers, friends out there using this. This is a way that you can literally make your assignments streamlined. It's easy for teacher and student work collaboration. You can build your projects in real time. And I know you're going to talk about feedback and comments, because
I know that's one of your favorite parts, Anne. I know.
There's some epic things you can do with that feedback.
It's true. And what I love is you can actually monitor your student progress in real time. You can click right into the assignment that they're working on and see where they're at in the process of it all. So I'm actually going to very quickly show you how to create a classroom.
Okay.
So all I have to do is click on Create Class. I'm going to name my class. What should our class be named, Anne?
I mean, how about like tips and time savers? And this is like a PD session for our educator and teacher friends out there. So
I'm going to call it All Subjects.
Hey.
And let's see. We're going to be kindergartners today. Because we give ourselves permission to play.
Yep.
And I do have a soft spot for kindergarten. Just saying, I do. And so I've created my classroom, and I have a lot of different ways that I could share my join link with my students. I could copy this class invite link I could post into our LMS, or whatever way is easiest. I could import my roster directly from Google Classroom. I could share a QR code. We have a lot of different options to get your students in.
Makes it super easy too.
Totally. Makes it super, super easy. But in the essence of time here, I'm going to go to a classroom that I've already made with some really awesome pretend students. We love pretending. That's always great.
I do.
So this is my pretend classroom, and I have 3 pretend assignments that live in my pretend classroom. And if let's say I got a new student in the middle of the year, I could just go to add students and add them in. But I have this assignment that I have already given to my pretend students, and they created them and submitted them to me. In my assignment, when I created it, I just had to name it. I could give instructions. I could have gotten a lot more detailed than I did here, but I did not this time. I gave my due date, I chose my class, and this is a really cool feature here, Anne.
That right there, Shell, I know. So you're hovering over what's called Class Gallery, and this is a way to allow students to see each other's turned in work. And notice it's a toggle on, toggle off, so the educators can choose to use this feature. And it's a brilliant way to make learning and thinking visible, not only peer-to-peer, but kind of extend those collaborative learning opportunities, peer feedback, praise, conversation, extend that thinking or learning.
Exactly.
Class galleries. Let us know in the chat. Have you tried this yet? I see the chat is popping. Melissa learned something from Claudio already about, one of those quick actions. But friends, share your own time-saving tips in the chat. If you're using classrooms, let your peers know. But that class gallery feature literally is there when you are creating your assignment.
Yep, and then your students can see each other's work, which is really fun and super powerful. Also, I'm going to go back to your most favorite thing.
Yes.
I'm going to click in on one of my students' assignments here. And I have access right to see all the work that my student did. I've already left them a comment, and they were able to give each other comments. I could also come in and pin my original comment, so it always stays at the top right there for them to be able to see. I also can come here, and if I wanted to be a co-editor with my student, if we're working on something together, or maybe I need to make a couple changes to something before we publish it, I can click this Start Editing button and jump right in and work alongside my students.
So the cool thing too is you can hover over the canvas where the kids are creating or designing or anybody's sharing, and literally put your feedback in that specific area on the canvas. Look here, draw your attention here, make some edits here. But it's a powerful way to get kids not only to dig deeper into their design and their creative aspects, but have that important dialogue to guide to deeper levels of learning, deeper understanding, etc. So
yes,
yeah.
I also have to point out, I saw in the chat the suggestion of we also are able to just click here for next file. If I want to see my next student's assignment, I can just click through all of my student submissions that have been turned in.
I love
that. Pretty
that.
cool.
Yeah, Melissa's sharing. She's used it as a teacher training. Teachers are the best artists. Shout out to all the educators out there. Michael Clear, thank you. The class gallery gives students an idea of what to do. It helps students who are stuck. That's a really great phase of ideation too, to even brainstorm or get inspiration and kind of extend the dialogue about where to take it or next steps, right?
Absolutely.
I love this. All right, so classrooms, simple ways to get started, brilliant, quick ways to share, that class gallery feature. And friends, I think we're going to go on to the next one. Maybe as we get that loaded up, I know everything's getting ready. Shell, we're going to talk about templates next, right?
I love our templates.
Okay, so the templates are a super rad time-saving feature. Used it last night. You're going to see that in a little while. But on that left rail, again, you notice that button for templates. And I love this because time-saving tips, it's a place to get inspiration. You can browse not only the templates, photos, videos, text, etc. But when you click on that, there are literally thousands. And I know our team is constantly adding more.
I swear, every time I log on, I'm like, whoa, that's a cool idea. I had no idea that was in there.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, the cool thing, look at those filters on the left side. Let's talk about templates. Tell us what we need to know.
Absolutely. So there are a few different ways that you can sort through these thousands and thousands of templates to find something that really fits your needs for your classroom. So if you want it to be a student activity, so something that is specifically designed for students to do, you can toggle that on. That's going to start trimming down all of our options. You can also, let's pretend I am an elementary school teacher, and I am a lower elementary school, so maybe I'm K through 2. So I'm going to click on grade level right here, and I'm going to choose lower elementary. And let's say I want to do an animal research template because I want my students to be able to present something that they've done with animal research. I know I've been there. I've had many an animal research project.
Habitats, life cycles, anything.
Absolutely. So I'm going to go for a subject, and I'm going to choose science. And here there are so many different options that give me a really nice place to start. And I could go in and make some changes to a template and then share that with my students.
I was just going to say, do a slow scroll through this because it's a beautiful representation of like the scale of possibility with these and leveraging those filters to get down to what you want. But folks, look at on the screen. I mean, it's brilliant. And you did filter it for lower elementary. Those look age appropriate, visually like, impactful. But the way that I look at those, I break down the elements. I see text boxes. I see images. And that's language I use, with my younger scholars as they start building. But I love this. Okay, so animal research templates, that's what you said.
I did.
And I think, should we click into one?
I think we should. One that I always really think is cute is this one. It always just catches my attention because it's got that real picture. The text really pops. So all I have to do is click on that. I can jump in and start customizing it.
Okay, we're seeing in the chat otters, sloths. I think we're having a little bit of an animal battle. If you know Shell, you know she's an axolotl fan. So all about... If
I were going to make one, that's what it's going to be every time.
Not a surprise. I kind of thought that might be a brilliant example too. So I don't know much about axolotls. Beautiful thing is I can begin to search and use all of those features embedded inside.
I could just even, throw in a quick axolotl photo. They are a lot of fun.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I see what you did there.
Yeah,
Right, but look at on the template, then you can go in, you can continue to edit, add your text boxes. This could match not only to a teaching chart, any kind of resource you're using in the classroom, but I love the templates. As we mentioned, the team is always adding more. You saw that we filtered for younger scholars perhaps, but let's go in and maybe just hit that A, reset, and go back to templates. Show the process again, how quick and simple it is, but let's maybe go to higher ed.
I love it. Let's do it.
Secondary.
So, I'm gonna click on student activity.
Okay.
And this time, let's go with high school.
Okay.
I'm gonna click on high school, and maybe we go social studies.
Yeah.
So I've just kind of dialed it all down. And it's not to say that you couldn't choose a different template that you liked and tailor it to a different subject, but gives you a really nice place to start. And as I'm looking through here, things that are popping out to me that would be really fun. I love the idea of doing some kind of newspaper. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Recreating a historical figure. We've got, some deeper things like considering historical eras, turning points, looking at different historical perspectives.
Yeah, I love this. I think too, anyone we wanted to talk about, but that biographical one, Women's History Month is coming up, so could be a brilliant way to continue to talk about folks, who have made an impact as we transition from February into March. I got distracted because I'm seeing in the chat, axolotls? How did they not know about axolotls? I love that question. It's something that you have a lot of experience with.
I do.
In your life.
They're a type of salamander, but they stay aquatic forever.
Yeah. So also another great question I saw over on the Behance chat, is Adobe Express for Education is a completely free version for K-12 schools. You can get started by signing up with your school email domain address. And this is what we're showcasing. Everything here is free for K-12 education. So, okay, quick actions.
Yes.
Those classrooms.
Yes.
The galleries, of course, we had to talk about in there.
Course.
The templates, these are literally clicks of buttons to get started right away. And I think what we're going to do is show a few more clicks of a button. Again, I know you just clicked on that colorful A. And that left rail, folks, that has some really important stuff that you might or might not be aware of. If you've never scrolled down, notice that light bulb icon. That is the Learn tab. And I love this. Like, even when you hover over it, it says get tips, get ideas, get tutorials, get quick articles to help you get the most out of Adobe Express. And the reason I love this, it's all bite size. Like, that's a time saver in and of itself.
It is not documentary PD.
No, it's not. It's not.
I borrowed that from our friend Martine.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Shout out Martine, not documentary PD. But look at this across the top, from getting started to design, video photography, generative AI, your guided activities, of course, those 12 days of creativity. Tell us a little bit more. What do you love about the Learn tab?
So first off, I always, whenever I have somebody who's brand new to Adobe Express and they're like, how do I even get started on this whole thing? I know there's a lot that you can do with it, but I don't even know where to start. This is a great place to just dive in and start learning. And a lot of them, like all of the tutorials, they live just on this first page, but you can, get a little bit more specific. I love, love, love our guided activities. And if you have not had the chance to take a look at these and even try them out with your students, I highly recommend this as a great starting point. Every single one of these has an instructional video, which,
are awesome.
Game changer, as well as written instructions for how to complete the project, including like step by step.
And that video that you just referenced, not only could it be used to leverage, like, teach the students, but hi, I'm a lifelong learner. I could go in and leverage it as the learning leader in the classroom, the educator in the classroom, play it, pause it, use it to teach the step-by-step instructions. But you mentioned text-based too, so literally it's step 1, step 2, step 3.
For all of us different types of learners. I'm not a video learner. I am a read it learner,
And I'm a video learner.
There we go. Look at us. I love it.
Okay, so let's click into one and actually show this. This is a brand new one, everybody.
I'm so excited about this
brand new. Imagine a future me.
I love that.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so talk about it on the side. There's that Learn tab.
Yep, so right here, this, and if you want to make it go away and you don't want the instructions, you can close it out. But, oh no, now it's gone. Easy way to bring it back, do you know?
Light bulb.
Click the light bulb again and it comes right back automatically. Yep. We love it.
I love it too. You can even pop it out and move it around the screen too. So I know I'm sitting right in front of it here, but there's a button at the bottom that says Get Started. And when you click on that, it will take the text-based instruction, literally guide you through step 1, step 2, step 3. And so all of these guided instructions, like, it's the most brilliant way because it's having the design laid out for you, but you have the full flexibility and creative freedom to make it your own.
Exactly. So. And if you are like, oh man, this is a great assignment, I really like this, guess what? You can just click Assign up here in the top and turn it into an assignment for your students.
So I'm curious, folks who are in the chat, if you have, maybe you have a favorite guided activity. Have you tried these? Let us know. I'm just kind of like checking it out. Thanks for sharing the links in there, folks, too. But shout out to the educators out there using these. You also have the opportunity to, like you said, assign them. And if you go back, let's go through that workflow one more time and do a slow scroll there, because that Imagine the Future You, as we mentioned, is brand new.
Brand new.
Right?
Like last week, I think it
it literally just launched. I saw it yesterday for the first time.
I'm so excited about it.
But the cool thing about like a public safety announcement video, I know it was Safer Internet Day recently, and a lot of folks across the UK were using this one and sharing that 2025 mood board. But these are beautiful opportunities. Dig deeper in your curricular area and have that guided activity literally take you through step by step.
Exactly. I totally agree. And what's your favorite one?
I mean, to be honest, scroll down. I love the, I can tell you the first one I did was the Learn to Make an All About Me graphic, that bottom left one.
That's such a good intro activity if you've never used Express before, especially.
Yep. And again, looking at it, it's a few text boxes. a few images. You learn how to remove the background, etc. That was the very first one I ever did. And then, of course, the bobblehead one. So I love making the bobblehead right there. Make yourself into an action figure with generative AI.
You know I'm a sucker for anything where I get to make cute stuff with AI. If you say make cute stuff, I say, okay, let's go.
Okay, I have 2 pro tips from the chat. Also, shout out to Michael Clear, who said, guided activities is great for students who might be absent one day because they literally follow the instructions to catch up and can be independently. Shout out to Melissa Kincaid, Alter Ego or Bobblehead, and the text to image one also. Claudio's in agreement that Bobblehead, I know that's a super popular one. So engages students and teachers, learners of all ages, right?
It's so cute. And it's a fun one to print out for like your classroom community and classroom culture.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Absolutely.
So if you scroll back up, just another shout to that brand new one, Imagine the Future You. It's a really brilliant way to get generative AI to kind of dream a future career, a future role that they want to, explore in their life. I love that.
And see themselves in it, which is like so powerful.
I love it. So, all right, Shell. Guided activities. On the left side, we just covered that Learn tab. Below that is that Notebook tab. Tell us all about that.
Yes, this is our Educator resources. And again, this is another place where you can find our guided activities. They're right here. Super easy to just find them in lots of different places. And as I scroll down in our Educator resources, you've got links again to those templates that we took a look at under templates, aptly named.
Yep.
And then if I keep going, there's more of those templates. And then also we have some classroom activities. These are complete lesson plans. If you need like the full scripted lesson plan, they're right here waiting for you. And you can grab and go, basically.
Okay. That's so cool.
And then, you want to tell them about this part?
Okay, this. And then I want to actually pop in a demo of one of those guided activities.
Let's do
it. Okay, so what we're showing on the screen right now, too, this is another time-saving tip because folks are always asking, how can I find some professional learning? How can I extend my own professional development? We have these ready-to-go professional learning, webinars and series where you can actually engage at your own time, in your own flexible schedule, all of these from not only, teaching tech and literature with Adobe Express, building community, digital portfolios, student presentations, infographics.
Oh, look, there's Claudio. He's in the chat.
So the brilliant thing about these is they're flexible to use at your own pace, at your own time, and then you can earn the certification and the badge from it too, which is a brilliant way to share your own continued professional learning. But all of this is available in that Educator resource tab. I love that there are a few multiple entry points to these tools. That's why, again, push all the buttons. It's helpful to know where things are sometimes. But let's go back and imagine a future you. And let's show that guided activity because this is something that you can do quickly. If we want to pop open a different one, I just thought, let's jump in real quick and maybe just generate a new astronaut picture.
Let's do it.
Okay.
So all I have to do is I click on our astronaut image, and I'm going to click on this button right here that says Generate Image. And with that, it pops up the prompt that was used to create the image on here. So if you had something different that you wanted your students to generate, you could create your own version of this and then assign that one. So if I were going to make a new one, maybe I don't want to be an astronaut.
Okay.
What do I want to be? What could I be instead?
Oh my God. I mean, how about we were just talking about some things out in nature. I love the idea of having a garden, a farm. So maybe a gardener or a horticulturalist. Am I saying that right?
Horticulturalist. Nope, I'm not even gonna try it again.
I mean, standing in a lush garden or a vegetable garden, this to me, it's great to see a prompt being written out. Again, you can always edit your text.
Let's see, I'm gonna
iterate on the idea, right?
One with, let's see, brown hair.
Okay.
And
brown eyes.
Brown eyes.
Wearing pink overalls.
Oh, okay, we're mixing up ourselves.
Yep.
I like it. Pink overalls, standing in a lush vegetable garden. And then this is just me. I always like to add the art style that I would like to use. And I'm going to go with, let's do 3D render cartoon.
Oh, sweet.
Style. We'll see what happens.
Okay.
That's always the chance we take when we're using generative AI is who knows what we're going to get. But the best part is we can always go back and change it if it doesn't turn out the way that we like.
So while that's generating too, the next, oh, hey, look at that.
I love
it. It popped up so quick, I didn't even get to share my thought. I'll come back to it later.
Honestly, that kind of looks like a combo pack of the two of us.
It really does.
I'm not sure how we did that, but I have no idea if I spelled that right.
It looks good to me.
We're gonna go with it.
Yep.
And if I were really gonna publish this, I might go and do some spell check and see if I did it right.
Horticulturalist.
Sure.
Awesome. Well, I love that, with just a few clicks of a button, you can see the possibilities with this. And what I was going to say is that the next live stream that we'll be doing is with students, right? And they're going to be digging deeper into imagining a future you using this guided activity. And educators, you can join with your students for that guided experience. But I love just shout out another idea from the chat, these guided activities for station rotations.
Oh, that's a really good idea.
Literally of all ages because of that Learn tab and the video and the text-based support for it. So I love that. So
wow.
Very cool. All right. And shout out to those professional learning courses. Thanks, Tim. I love it, right? Totally awesome to see that people are finding great use and value in the tips that we're sharing. So,
absolutely.
All right. Hey, to our friends in Sweden watching, thanks for being here. Hope you have a good rest of the day. All right. You want to go to the next step?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
So you're taking on PDFs and worksheets.
I'm ready for this. It is probably the best kept secret in Adobe Express. Did you know that you can edit PDFs in Adobe Express? Did you know?
I mean, I know that, yes, but I think we go through and actually show people how to do this because
I love it.
This is a very powerful thing to be familiar with.
It sure is. So I just clicked, I went really fast. I clicked that plus button up at the top, and I'm going to use my quick actions, which we talked about earlier. And I'm going to go right here to edit PDF. And as I click on that, now I can bring in a PDF. And this is a worksheet that I used when I was teaching 4th grade. Did lots of stuff about westward expansion. I'm from Oregon, so we do a lot of talk about the Oregon Trail. That's a whole thing. And I'm going to bring that in.
I mean, and a Venn diagram is a very familiar thinking, routine that folks use in their classroom. So shout out to Oregon. This is a good topic, especially because of your geographic location too.
Exactly. And so I brought it in, and it has converted my PDF into an Adobe Express file. It saved it already, but I can open it up right into the editor. Super easy to do that so far. And now, instead of having a PDF that's just static, now I can actually come in here and I can edit every single thing that's on this page. So if you've got old worksheets that maybe you've had in your classroom for a while and you're like, oh, I wish I had this, but it needs to get updated, you can just throw it in here and you can make all the changes that you need to make. Super easy.
Okay, let's slow it down for a minute and kind of make this a little bit more dynamic. Let's add a few elements too. I know that we have a few moments to do that. So using this as an example, even if we just add like one thing to each side, this topic alone is making me think of a game from my childhood I used to play that had oxen and covered wagons in it. And I'm wondering if we could perhaps find a covered wagon to add and maybe compare and contrast it to modern technology and automobiles or something.
I like where you're going with this. Are you thinking photo or video or...
Oh my gosh. Okay, could we demo a photo and a video?
I think we could do that.
Okay.
So if I wanted to bring that in, let's say that, oh boy. Let's say this was my assignment and I want to bring that in. I'm just gonna click on media and then I'm gonna go to photos and let's covered wagon.
Sure.
Let's take a look.
Yep.
And let's see what we get. Oh, we've got some good ones here.
Right there.
That's exactly what I wanted.
That's a perfect one. All right, and you know what I would do with that though? It's a great photograph. I might consider any of the other ways you can see right there with that image that you can edit it, and that remove background one is something I love to use inside Adobe Express and literally just have the photograph of the wagon if you don't want the background. So one of the things I love most is, I mean, you literally can use your own imagination, your own creative, like, visioning of what you want on the page. So
Very
yeah,
true. And you know
that's
what
what
else
I
I
would
might do just for fun? I might come here to effects and grayscale it.
oh hey, oh
Then
yeah,
it looks more like old-timey.
love it.
Okay, I've got my covered wagon here. What might you contrast that to?
Well-
Something we've got now, Anne.
I mean, I'm thinking, I don't know why. I know it's not a typical mode of transportation, but I went to like a spaceship because it is a way that people are expanding to new places, or a plane, etc. So,
Well, we've got some great
Yeah.
options here. I clicked over to video
oh,
to
sweet.
change it
Okay.
up a little bit.
Okay.
So let's see.
Maybe we should just search for airplane.
Well, where's the fun in that?
Ah, I see that.
Let's see. Oh boy. Really wants me to click on that. All right, what are you feeling?
Yeah,
my
that
friend?
one right there that you're hovering.
That one?
Yep.
I like it. And I could even remove the background from my airplane so they match.
Okay, true confession. I had not removed a background from a video until the other day, and I don't know why I hadn't. I've done it in all the pictures, and I was like, this is a completely different creative possibility. And I don't know why I hadn't done it, but I did. And I'm already also thinking that you could add an animated character in the middle of this PDF and literally have somebody talking about the comparisons and contrasts. So I love that. Hit play on that too, and let's see
It's pretty cool, actually.
that is
turned out
really
pretty cool. It's like a low-key video, but I
That
like
is
it.
really cool,
I like
so-
it like that.
Oh my gosh.
That's pretty rad.
Well, so you said everything on a PDF becomes editable.
It's true.
That's incredible.
It blows my mind. It's still, and it takes like a worksheet from being something that students just fill in to being something that they can really interact with, and it's a much more dynamic, interactive project for them.
As Claudio Zavala Jr. would say, it takes it from static to dynamic.
It's so true.
I love that. Okay.
It's so true.
I have a question here too, because I think about my classroom and wanting to support multilingual learners. We do have text on the page. And if we were wanting to, we could simply make a copy of this and perhaps translate it for language support, right? Could you show us how to do that?
Absolutely. And it is super easy. There's just this translate button up at the top. And this is actually true for anything that has words on it that you have in Adobe Express. If you've got text that you have typed in or brought in that's editable text, you can translate it, which is amazing to me.
I love that.
I just hit translate, and let's see. I'm just gonna choose some of our many languages we've got on here. Let's do like French and German. And
Yeah, because you could do as many potentially as you want, right?
I'm just gonna go crazy. Let's just make a whole bunch. All right, I've got a bunch of new languages. I can even come in here and choose my tone of voice. Since this is an academic assignment, I think I'm gonna go with formal.
Okay.
And then I'm just gonna hit translate. And what that's doing is it is taking all of our words and translating them into all these other languages.
Okay,
Like, just like
the
that.
click of a button. This alone as a time-saving tip is so powerful. Teachers are working, I mean, everybody has very full plates and trying to manage a lot, but this is with the click of a button providing supports that not only make the learning and the content, more accessible, but wow, seeing that on the screen that fast, I mean, it blows my mind.
It just shifts it all over in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing
I love
to
it.
see.
I love it. So this is really cool because if you were to go back to that English version, right? We've added some icons. We added a video. We removed the background. And if they want to extend how they show what they know, there's another tool that they can use in here. And I love the idea of visually representing thinking, right? So whether it's those pictures, we added that video, the design, the elements, any kind of text-based note, but you know where I'm going with this?
I think I know where you're going with this.
Sketch notes. So how could they perhaps use the drawing tool? And maybe this is really where Shell gets to show us her drawing skills.
I don't know about that.
But show us how the drawing tool could literally be leveraged in this capacity within these editable PDFs.
Yes. There's a couple ways we could do it. We could go all the way out to the drawing editor and bring that piece in.
Yeah.
Or even quicker and easier, I'm just going to click on Elements. I'm going to come up here to the top and go over to shapes, and then I'm going to click on draw shape. And from here, I can come in here and draw or write whatever I want. So maybe I want to come in here and I want to add a race car. We're really on the transportation vibe here today, I guess.
And in the chat, I saw Melissa loved that, like, the spaceship was my mode of transportation. So I don't know why I went there, but it's the first thing that came to mind. So.
Okay, friends, we're not judging my goofy little car here today.
Not at all.
Oh,
no, we embrace all of the creative ways that we visually represent our thinking. So
I believe it is. There are no mistakes in art.
And I say to my 7-year-old niece Emery all the time, you can't mess up, you just keep going.
Exactly.
And it continues to become something new. So I love it. I see that you're adding the wheels, etc. But folks, as she's doing a little bit of drawing there, remember you go into the elements and the draw shape option.
Elements, shape,
yep.
Draw shape.
And it's such a brilliant way to launch that tool. Launch it one more time because I want to show inside. Right? When you click on that, not only do you have all of those brush styles, click on where it says view all. This is awesome.
It's so fun.
I mean, literally, it changes every kind of design possibility. But this is just another thing. Like I said, push the button, know what's there, compare. Yeah, I love it. Okay, so we've added this. We've added our elements. We've done a little bit of drawing. We've shown you how to translate this. There's something when you share and download this that's also kind of a dynamic piece about PDFs too. We have to mention this accessibility piece.
Absolutely. All you have to do is when you are getting ready to download a PDF, something really amazing right here is going to pop up and it says add accessibility tags, and that's going to automatically tag your PDF as you're downloading it so that it is accessible for screen readers, which is amazing.
Yeah, I love this because of course it's making everything more visually accessible, providing those supports. We wanted to make sure we took a moment and shared this with you all because this is a powerful thing to be aware of. You click your download right there. The accessibility tag is just a toggle inside of it. And of course, download it and use it in the different capacities that you need. So I love this shell.
It's so easy.
I love it.
It's not like a million extra clicks. It's just right there.
Yeah.
Easy peasy.
So I know some people might not have known that the power of what you really can do with PDFs inside Adobe Express for Education, it literally makes them so dynamic. So, okay, I'm looking at the chat and shout out, thank you, Michael, as we did the little drawing. I think it's right over here, her little drawing. That draw tool available on iPad now too. So definitely be sure to look for that no matter what device that you are on. So.
And I'm gonna add something in.
Yep.
We didn't even plan for this, but I'm
Okay.
gonna go off script for a minute. So not only is there that piece of drawing, but also, especially if you're working with younger learners who are really motivated by the drawing aspect of things. Back here, I clicked on the rainbow A. If you scroll down just a little bit, you see drawing and fun. And if I click right into that and I want to open up, this is a totally separate editor. This is our drawing editor, and I absolutely love it. There's all kinds of things you can do in here, but you can get a lot more detailed with your drawings with lots of different colors, even more brushes. I know like the cheesy brush is a big favorite with every kindergarten class that I work with, and most adults too. I think we all are big cheese fans. But I just wanted to point out there is this drawing editor that's is a little bit more robust and has a lot more options, including like playing with symmetry, which I didn't turn on. I meant to turn it on, but I didn't.
That's okay. Just click on.
There
Oh
it is.
yeah, look at that.
Right? Pretty awesome and fun to play with, and really great for those younger students
Okay,
too.
reset that real quick because I have not played with the symmetry tool in here, but this to me is like a whole visual representation, mathematical thinking, right?
Absolutely.
And I spent a lot of time in first grade teaching my first grade students to not only use academic vocabulary, but again, whether this is a highly complex sketch, right, or something simple, right? You can see what she's going with right here. But this also becomes a vocabulary lesson, in my opinion. It becomes a creative writing lesson, right? I know this was used really, really beautifully in creative ways when folks were doing the 12 days of creativity for symmetrical snowflakes.
Or
right?
cheese flakes.
Cheese flakes. Oh my God. Okay. That's so funny.
All right. Enough off topic.
Okay.
Well, let's get back to business.
Okay. So she just hit that colorful A. I think we have one more area we're going to dig into, and it's web pages.
I love web pages. Friends who are watching, when you think about ways that your students can present their learning or present their work, like drop in the chat some of the ways that you love to have your students do it. Is it presentations? Is it videos? Is it web pages, which is what we're going to talk about right now? There's a whole bunch of different ways, but share your favorites.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the chat, and I just have to call out the churro brush. Maybe it wasn't a cheese brush; it was a churro brush. That's awesome.
I think it can be whatever your heart desires. Brush.
Okay, so there's a couple of ways to launch a web page. We see it right there in that playground section. Of course, the plus sign, but let's kick one off and let's get it started.
I love it. So I could make my own from absolutely nothing, but one really awesome way to get it all started is to kick it off with a web page template. These are relatively new. Yeah. We've only had them since this fall. But these kind of give you a place to start when you're building a web page. And there's lots of different ways. There's learning journals and writing portfolios, research journals, reports, book reports, all kinds of things. Or you can start from scratch. And what I think is really, really powerful about these, I'm just going to select this book report to start with. What's really powerful is if I'm wanting my students to build book reports, I can come in here and there's already a lot of instructions of what they could be putting on here. But if I have specific things that I want my students to be putting in or including, this is basically like a living rubric for them as they're building their webpage. Yeah. It's really neat. And then all I have to do is publish it and share it and assign it again.
Yeah.
Easy.
So shout out in the chat, Michael, who said, I'm going to be learning about web pages. So we're glad you're listening in and seeing this. But you just said that living rubric piece. That's such a powerful way to consider how these templates can set people up for success.
Absolutely.
I love it.
And I actually have a couple of really great student examples.
Okay, cool.
These are some of our younger learners, but this is a 5th grader created. She was able to publish her writing, and she added all kinds of different details. She added links. She added photos. She, really was able to take her writing and bring it to life in a way that's more than just, typing it up in a document and printing it off.
I love it. As you're scrolling to the next one, Tim's sharing about his students are using the book report templates to start out, and then they, transform it with generative AI and create images for the web pages.
Very cool. I love that.
It's beautiful because those templates are like plug and play, upload a picture, even rotating which side things are on or moving it up a section. They're so simple to use.
Absolutely. And this is an example from a 3rd grade class. They were working on doing a science project, and they were able to work through the entire scientific process and publish it on a web page. And that way they could share their full process and results. And this was genuinely used in a science fair.
I love it. That's
to present
so
their
awesome.
work. So cool.
That's so awesome. All right. And
3rd graders.
I mean, right? I love it. So I think, too, I have a web page that I made last night for this live stream, and we're talking all about epic time savers. So we want to shout out the Adobe Creative Educator Innovator community because these are tips from the community for the community. And I used this web page template, and one of the elements I said I want to make a glide show. And so these literally just brought up. So Crystal, these are tips, Crystal's tips. She said duplicate and resize the graphics, whether it's for a flyer, an Insta story, a post. You can just resize graphics without having to recreate the wheel. So pro tip, organize your stuff folder, which is on that left rail. So naming protocols, however you want, folders, etc. And name your design every time you create. So when it comes time to download it, it doesn't get lost in the downloads. Thank you, Crystal.
Pro tip. I love it.
Read this one.
So you could definitely put animate all on the list for a jazzy look really quick. Kind of like the dress jacket everyone keeps in their office for an unexpected pop-in or visit.
Sarah, I love that. So that animate all feature just makes your presentations a little bit, I don't know, jazzier, like you said.
Gives it a good pop, for
I love
sure.
it. I love it. Okay, so Tim and Monica both talked about the brands tool, and that brands is available on the left rail, but create your own templates inside of brands for projects that you plan to repeat and share. Thank you, Tim. And Monica says, I think using the brands is such a time saver, especially if you're working on marketing materials for your school. Consistency is key. This is things from your branded, whatever font you want to use, your color palette, your color scheme, any assets that you have, could be logos, school branding, those types of things. So I love that as a tip. So take the next one.
I love it. And we talked about this one today.
Yep.
Instantly translate a design to lots of languages. Thank you, Jen.
I love it. All right, we got another one. And this is so cool. Eve says, always duplicate a template as an extra page. That way, if a student accidentally deletes something and it's so far gone in the project to undo, I can simply go to the second duplicated page, copy and paste the missing element back in. Such a great time saver. And that's like a pro tip, next level kind of like, oh my gosh, so simple.
This is one of my best practices when I'm creating stuff too.
I love it. Thank you, Eve.
And Melissa, who's here, amazing, is a great time saver for me is searching for my own projects while inside the editor. There's always that perfect font or element that I know I used on that one project. I love searching for it, adding it as a new page, then copy, paste, tweak, and delete the page when I've got what I needed. Very smart.
Love it. Oh my gosh, I love it. All right, and this is how we're wrapping up, I think, right here. Carrie, titling your project right away. I mean, the light bulb over my head, brilliant reminder right away. It's a must, I think.
The number of things that live in my Express account that are named untitled is way too many.
Oh my God.
Way too many.
So thank you to our innovators for sharing those. And folks,
Oh my gosh, what is happening? Anne.
I hear it. I know what
Do you
this
hear
means.
it?
I know what this means. Hey, Stardust!
Stardust! Oh my gosh!
Our special friend is back, everybody. Hi, Stardust! Oh my gosh. Okay, Stardust, I know she's here. Yep.
Oh.
Okay, she's saying something about the computer. Looking at the computer.
Stardust,
Epic
I know
reminder.
what you're trying to say.
Epic reminders, right?
I know what you're trying to say. So right now, applications are open for you to apply to become part of our Adobe Creative Educator Innovator community, and we'd love to have you apply. We will drop that link in the chat for you.
Yep.
Absolutely amazing. Anne, you want to add anything about our amazing community?
I love that this is just an inspiring community. If you want to scroll down a little bit on it, tell them what they could expect. This is literally a community of educators who are passionate about bringing opportunities to their K-12 students to unleash creativity in their classrooms. It's a place for you to engage with other educators in community and bring the joy of creativity to all. These of you out there sharing ideas, celebrating learning, celebrating creativity, presenters, classroom teachers, district leaders, influencers, creativity advocates, but basically fabulous humans who are innovating with the power of creativity. So we would love to have you be a part of the Adobe Creative Educator community.
And Stardust wants you to as well.
Oh my gosh, Stardust. It's so fun to have you here. So, all right, friends, I think we're getting close to wrapping up.
Absolutely are. But
we would love for you to be part of the community. You can always find us on Facebook, the Adobe Creative Educator community. Bye, Stardust. But before we wrap up, we want to remind you that we have student sessions every other Tuesday and teacher sessions every other Thursday. So those, I think we have the link going in the chat to adobe.ly/Adobe Live EDU, but you can have the links to those sent right to your inbox. We'd love to see you at a future session.
Thank you everyone for being here today. We can't wait to see you next week. You can join us for a live lesson with our friends Jesse and Tim. They will walk your class through that guided activity where they can imagine themselves in their future careers. And until next time,
I think I gotta say it. Push all the buttons, play to learn, and
stay creative.
Bye everyone.